Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are doing another episode here on some boat rigging. This is a big project. I've been waiting on some parts to come in and to get the boat out of storage. We are now roughly 3.5 weeks from our main opener, so we're getting close. It's May 15th is opening day, so we're getting close. This guy wants his boat ready, so lots of stuff going in here. We're doing a Lowrance Elite FS 9-inch on the dash. We're putting two Scotty 2106B Downriggers on with the braided line. We're putting a new stereo in. We're going to add a battery add a house battery to the starting battery. We're going to separate that with the Blue Seas, add a battery kit, which will be here in the mail tomorrow. We're going to try and get a Minn Kota Ulterra on the bow. It's going to be a real struggle, but we'll persevere and we'll get through it and we'll make something awesome up there. We're going to add two batteries for that. It's a 24 volt system. That's what we're going to get on here. So 5 big things, 5 big tasks. So sonar, downriggers, stereo, battery, trolling motor. It's going to be a good few days of working in here. Right now the boat's just drying out. It was out into storage outside, so it was all wet, so the carpet's drying out. Now I got the fans going on it in the heated garage here. Okay, so we're gonna add an Elite FS 9, brand new unit this year. Awesome unit, used them this winter. 2 batteries for the trolling motor, 1 for house battery. The downriggers, we're gonna try and get on the Scotty right angle side gunnel mounts. Customer picked up a stereo that he wants to throw in. There's some parts there. We're gonna have a breaker and the plug connectors for the Ulterra, which is gonna sit on this bracket. Hopefully we can get that on there. A couple downriggers here, and the Ulterra is on the other side of the garage. I'm not gonna move it yet because it's big and bulky, so I'll let it sit where it is, but that's what we're up against. As we progress, I'll keep you guys updated on what we're doing and why, that kind of stuff. So I don't know where I'm going to start. I may start on the stereo because I can start it where I'm sitting in a dry chair, if the chairs are dry, that is. So I will see you on the next clip. We'll show you what we got going on, and if you could like and subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. It helps me out, and much respect for it. Okay guys, day 2. I'm gonna get started here today on stereo, probably run the fish finder, maybe get into the downriggers. Waiting on power stuff to show up in the mail today, so everything should be good that way. We got the sonar mounted last night on a Scotty 163 ball mount. Looks awesome, feels awesome, nice and solid. That's all I got run on that. I didn't get anything else done because of the wet carpet. So today I'm going after the stereo on this side here. It's built into the dash, so we're just putting in a JVC stereo. And then we'll go from there. Here is, I'll take the wire off. There's the sonar mount in there. Still see the gauges from the driver's seat. And there's the 9-inch Elite FS unit. And then in here in the glove box, that's where we're gonna have a stereo. It was already in there prior, it didn't work, so we're just rewinding a new one. So that is day 2. Starting out, we'll see where we get to today. Okay guys, gals, here's a quick tip. I got a bottle of this liquid electrical tape here, and what I did with the 2 speakers that we're not using, see how we can do this. I just dipped the end of the wires here. It's not gonna want to focus, but I dipped the end of technically the rear speaker wires in electrical tape, or liquid electrical tape, just to seal them off, just a precautionary thing. And also another tip I wanted to give you is this guy here, this little gripper or solo arm for soldering. It's got little pinchers on it here to put your wire in, so you can solder by yourself way easier. I picked that up on Amazon. Makes life a lot easier. I just put some heat shrink on the end just so it grabs the wires nicer. But that's that, and then I'm going to use, again, I got the pre-solder waterproof heat shrink all-in-one connectors, so everything's waterproof for this guy. So I just wanted to give you guys those 2 tips, and something that definitely makes life a lot easier and simpler. I just wanted to show you guys these waterproof connectors again. Some of you have seen them in previous videos, some haven't if this is your first video. So what they are is they got solder built into them, they got waterproofing on them, and even though this is up high in the console, I'm on the passenger side, I'm still making sure everything's waterproof. So all the connections are in there. They're sealed. They're soldered, sealed, waterproofed, everything's good. Just wanted to let you know that's what I'm doing. That's what the red lines are. Other than the sizing, they're also waterproof bars. So they're stuck to the wire now. So awesome stuff. Again, it's an Amazon purchase, or you can get it at your local store probably. Here's the kit that I bought here. That's what I'm using right there. So 4 different sizes, mainly 3 different sizes. There's a couple white ones in there, not many. But they are awesome and they do the trick. Okay guys, here's an update. We're kind of midday and here I am working away. I got the sonar installed, transducers mounted at the back of the boat. I got the head unit. We got it right here. I got an accessory switch for power because this boat doesn't have a master power. The unit fires up and there's that. As soon as that accessory switch goes, that goes. There's a light in the switch to help them remember. Here's what happened earlier. We got the stereo. It's in here. Everything works good. I've been listening to it today. So far, so good. Transducer comes through the back of the boat, in through here, all along up in the side of the gunnel, and those are cables haven't been touched up yet. That might be the transducer cable there, but I'll definitely get that zip tied up. Here we are here, not now. Shows we're in Edmonton. Now, on this boat we got right here. Here's our fuse block here. That's feeding the switches. I'm going to upgrade the wire for the sonar myself tomorrow when it arrives. Next stage, mount downrigger right here on either side, there and there, right above that handle with a Scotty mount, side gunnel mount I showed you earlier. That, and we're gonna do the add a battery. The kit has arrived, so we have those 2 guys there. Those are gonna be going in. I got that all sourced out today. Here is the side gunnel mount. This is a lot to take in all at the same time. We're gonna get some good lighting here. There's the side gunnel mount. So the rigger's gonna mount on top. This piece right beside my watch stays on the boat. There's the knobs there. That'll screw the T-shaped piece on top. And what it will do is it'll mount right like that and sit on the boat. So when we go, at the end of the day, you want to take your downrigger off. This piece right back in here, it stays on the boat permanently. These knobs here both unscrew, and this whole bracket from here stays together. It's screwed in the top. It comes right off. Normally myself, when I had these on one boat, I left the swivel mounted to this permanently and just pulled the whole thing off as a set, and then every morning I'd put them back on. That is going to be our next step, is that with some backing in behind. We're not just going to drill through here and screw this to the fiberglass. We're going to bolt it to something in behind. I don't know what I'm going to use yet, if I'm going to use plywood or if I'm going to use some a metal bracket. I'll see what I can find, what I can fit, and what I can make work. So that's the next step of this here rigging. I'd show you the transducer, but it's on the back of the boat and I'm in the boat, so we'll definitely add that for you guys as well. Okay guys, another day, another continuation of the project. Today I'm doing the Downrigger install. I already got the 2 mounts put on. What we do there is, I'll show you here in a second. So you put the side piece on and it bolts on right through the gunnel with some backing. I use bolts, I use Loctite. This is today's secret ingredient here, blue Loctite, and that's going to hold the nuts on the back. You could use Nylox if you want as well. In this case, they supply regular bolts and washers and nuts, so I just use those. And we're all good. So I will show you the process of that here real quick. Okay, so here's a quick overview of the Scotty side mount, the 1025 side mount. I put it all together as one piece. Then what I do, I loosen the knob slightly just so I can get a drill in. Put the drill through the bottom hole here, holding it in place. Drill that hole. Then I take the whole guy off. Just unscrew these knobs. Then this is completed, but I'm just going over it. What I would do is then go underneath with the backing and bolt this bottom one through, just finger tight. Then put it back on, drill the remaining 4 holes through bolt this guy on and then put it all back on, and it just goes on like this. So basically every time you go fishing, I leave this T/L shaped piece here on my downrigger, and that's all that stays on. At the end of the day, you want to put your tarp on, or you want to drive down the road and you want to take them off. They're on here pretty solid, but when you're done, you pop these guys off. That's all that stays on your boat, is that one plate. It looks nice, it's not an eyesore, and it's got smooth edges on it. So that is basically the install of the 1025 Scotty side slash or right angle gunnel mount. And I'm going to put the riggers on here now, and then I'm going to run the power for those. So I'll show you how that setup goes here next. Okay, so for this next stage, what I do is take this guy off. Leave those there. This is the swivel that comes with the Scotty. What I like to do is, we don't need the base plate that's on it anymore. There's no point in just stacking plates on plates. So I'm taking the knobs off. Pop that off. Take out one knob. And you want the nylocks from below. So I just screw them in, give them a push through. Just a couple screws in, just to set the threads. Get all those out of the plate. This would be a plate you would mount if you had a wide gunnel boat. You'd mount this plate permanently. In this case, we don't have that. So we take these four. Now we're gonna slide them into here, which on the underside of this guy, we're gonna put these in. Then I'm gonna put it that way, so I want the swivel button on a certain side. That's up to you where you like it. Mount that one there. This stuff isn't hard to do, it's just a matter of making sure you got the right piece in the right place. Then this is the one there's one there. Just need something to poke it through a little. I guess I'll just use my drill just to hold it down while I set the screw in. There we go. The bottom of the plate has the hex for the nut, so you don't have to put a wrench on it. It's molded into the plastic. Let's see if I can do it with a finger this time. Oh, there we go, sucking away. Yep. So we get that tight all the way around. Now we have 4 screws on top here. These 4 screws come out. Keep those handy. Go to the bottom of the downrigger, and there's the pivot bracket here. I've already pre-loosened it, so we loosen off this knob the rest of the way. Pull it out. That falls out. Leave those sitting there. Now we take the bracket. This is where you got to think about it. You'll notice there's 2 holes close to the edge, 2 in the middle. The ones close to the edge are the tall end where the pivot is. So you'll just stick those on there, on there, on there. You can use a screwdriver or a drill. You don't need to overdo these. Just check them after the first couple trips. And that is that. Here's the release right here for the swivel. So I will now take this whole unit, mount it back onto here. Screw those in nice and tight. Take the downrigger, set it on top of that pivot bracket, reach in from the far side in this case, get that into the hole. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. But that, how does that go? No, this goes the other way. Let me double check that. Okay. So if this pops out, I just check the other unit. Put the nut in first, then put this in so the open end of it goes in and it's a nice flush finish on the outside. So I'm gonna suck that back. Again, there's a spot for the nut to sit inside there, and that just sits flush there. I like to hold the rigger up a little bit, just take the pressure off. Screw that in until you're nice and tight. And that there is it. I'll get it nice and close for you. Now to pivot, push this down and turn it wherever you want, and let go after you do it, and it'll lock in any position. Normally I like to travel on the boat with it in this position facing straight back. Here's our power cord, and that'll be our next step. So on to powering these things. Now just got to find a good spot to put them. Here we are, another day. This is a short day, didn't get much done today. Just wanted to touch base with you guys, show you what I did get done. The power for the Downriggers is now run. The receptacle is right here on both sides. The wires run in from behind, and I'll give you a tour of what I did here. So wires come in along the back of the motor and into here. What I have here now is, I'll keep that out of the shadow. There's the no-code charger. That's going to be connected to the two rear batteries. There are two 30-amp breakers. Those are feeding each downrigger. I haven't labeled them yet, but we have the port and the starboard downrigger power, and I just have to feed out of each of these. They're going to come around and they're going to go into the battery switch, which is these guys here that I've gotten installed. So battery switch on the left, off, on, combined batteries, and then we have the automatic charge relay with the start isolator on the right. So I'm waiting for cabling tomorrow, being Monday, I'll go pick that up, and the batteries are going to be in back here, and that pretty much will wrap up that wiring. It's pretty simple. You just got to follow the instructions. I got everything figured out, and that's that. Here's what the Scotty Receptacle looks like up close. Put some light in there for you. That's just wired into the back, and then the wires go around the outside, and the Scotty downrigger will just plug in here, and a little quarter turn, and then that's locked in place. So that's that for today. Basically, that's all I got done was the stuff in the back bottom here. Just wanted to get those figured out so I knew what material I needed to pick up tomorrow. So on to tomorrow. We will see you then, and we will get this pretty close to done at the back of the boat. Everything will be done from sonar, stereo, downriggers, battery and with isolator. That's what the customer really wanted. He wanted to have an extra battery in here that if he needed to, he could flip the switch and use it. So that's what we're gonna do for him. So So after this, we move to the bow, and the electric trolling motor is going to be going on there, and that's going to be a struggle, but we'll figure it out. We'll persevere, and we'll get it mounted for the guy, and that'll be the end of this big project of how to turn a ski boat into a fishing boat. Okay, we're just wrapping up the back of the boat here. There are, let's get some light for you. 2 batteries back in here now, starting battery, spare battery. I have the Downriggers running off of this spare. The starter's still running. The accessories in this boat because of the inboard outboard and the way it's wired configured. There's our on-off combined switch. There's the ACR, which currently the light is on, so it's combined and charging. There's the charger, which is basically full because I charged them all night. And there are the 2 breakers for the Downriggers all connected now. So the 2 wires coming off of the breakers come in and back and come into the top 2 wires here with the yellow on them. So they come right off the switch. Everything comes off the switch. The only thing on the batteries are basically the power wires and jumper cables, ground from one to battery to the other. So that is the wiring part. So the riggers are done, the stereo's done, the sonar's done, the electrical's done. Now I'm moving into the bow of the boat, which is going to be the fun one to get this electric motor mounted. Okay, yesterday was a big day. I didn't get any video of it, but I got a ton of work done. Created the custom mount right here on the bow of the boat to hold the removable bracket for the Minn Kota. I got a bunch of all 2 batteries installed and a charger. They're running in series, so they're going to be a 24-volt system in this boat. Today I have the plug to put in for the motor. I think it's going to end up going right about here just to stay out of the way. I'm going to put in the Minn Kota, I call them a heading sensor, the GPS puck, the breaker for the power. I have to run the wire. I'll show you the batteries here. I have the breaker for it again. So this is going to go near the battery. Then the wire comes in the behind, attaches into the socket, and that pretty much does the Minn Kota. I've put all the bracket on the bottom of the motor. It's pretty straightforward. There's 6 screws in there. We got to take a bunch of stuff apart in order to put it back together, but I've done it enough times that it goes pretty simple. Okay, here's what we look like from ground level. So she sticks over a little ways on the puck board. I got some rubber washer spacers underneath. She's solid on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 bolts going through, right through the fiberglass, and then this one right here actually goes right through the whole meal deal as well. Then these 4 here just go through the board itself. But yeah, that's that there. The angle's nice, so it's gonna stay on the boat, not overhang when he's trying to moor at the dock. So everything should be good here. So in here, normally there's a flip up bench, back bench here. I've taken it off just to make things easier. So right here is, I lucked out, I was able to get both batteries in there and the NoCo charger. These NoCo chargers are pretty awesome because they're so small that they fit anywhere. This is a 5 amp per bank charger, so it's only about, I don't know, maybe 5 by 7 inches kind of thing, and sticks out a couple. The batteries are mounted in there with some battery mounts, and they're not moving, and they're the Group 31s I was able to get in there, 2 of those, so should be awesome. So mind my mess here, I'm still in cleanup mode, but this plug here, this port opens up, and there's a plug. So you just plug in an extension cord at your house, at your campsite, on your driveway, wherever you are. That turns on both chargers, and they're set to charge deep cycle 12-volt batteries. Those chargers could do more. They could do lithiums as well. And here is the transducer. That's the Lowrance Active Imaging 3-in-1. Try and get an angle there. It's real tough to install these guys, but it's just barely sticking below the hull. Being that this is an IO, we go up through the hull, and our famous 4200 is up there, top and bottom, and there's a plug in there sealing it as well. I'll give you a quick tour of what we did. Just one last go. Where to start? I guess we'll start here where I started. So in the glove box, there's a stereo mounted in there that the customer supplied. It was already there. There was one, so we just replaced the old one with the new one. Then we came over here and we put in the Lowrance Elite FS 9-inch on a Scotty 163 ball mount. Then I went to the Downriggers. Got one Downrigger here. I put the power cord right below it here. So these just pop in. Where's the insert side? Right there. Obviously easier to do with two hands. I'll pop in a little twist. There's your Downrigger. There's your swivel bracket right here. Try to twist this with one hand. Yeah, the pull from the trailer gets in the way. So locks in place. 16 position locks, I believe they are. There's a seat gonna go back in here. Nothing's behind that guy. Come over to this side. We have the add a battery kit here. We have the charger. We have 2 breakers for the Downriggers. I gotta go get the labels made for those yet. Inside this hatch here, or the back seat rest, is where the extra battery is, so that's in there. There's the back half of the NOCO plug, which is a splitter version, so it's running to this charger, and it runs along the gunnel to the next spot here. Open this guy up. This is the front backrest, and there's 2 batteries in there, and a charger tucked up there. That charger plugs into that same port, so from the back of his boat he can plug in, and there's a breaker right there for the Minn Kota, which is mounted on a custom bracket, which was a lot of fun to make and get bolted down, but it is bolted down 5 different bolts right through. There's that. It's on a quick release bracket, so it can pop off. That's an Ulterra, and still got the plastic on it. There's the plug for it right there. I like to leave the cords the length they came, just in case someone ever wants to do something different. There is the puck for it, and I've run that off an accessory switch here, so when I flip the switch, that turns on, and that'll connect to the power head off of the accessory switch, which is buried right here. And that also runs the sonar, is how I've wired this boat. So that switch has to be on to run the sonar or the heading sensor for the motor. The motor has its own power, and that is basically the project. It's been a heck of a week. It's put in some long days, some short days over the weekend, but it's done. It's awesome. I can't wait to see this guy out on the lake this summer, fishing lake trout, walleye. That's what he's going to be after with the family. He's got 2 young kids, so I'm stoked for those little guys to get out there with them, and I can't wait to see some pictures from them. So that's basically this project in a nutshell. Whoops. And it's been a blast, and we got more coming in next week, so they're a lot more simple. This was the biggest one I had to do this year, so it's all done, and he's coming to pick it up tonight, so hopefully everything goes good, and by the time I get this video edited, this boat will be out of the garage, and mine will be back in here, and hopefully I can get some work done on mine, and I got 2 or 3 more next week to do for some other guys. So it's gonna be an awesome week coming up here. Opening season's just around the corner. Lakes are starting to open up so we can get some water testing done. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I didn't get real in depth on every install for you guys. If you want that on something in the future, let me know, and I'll make a video doing an in-depth install for you on just one item. I'm not going to make this video like a 2-hour video for you guys to watch, so I don't want to do that to you. I want to keep them short and sweet for now. So hope you enjoyed this. If you can like and subscribe to the channel, there's going to be more of this coming. As soon there's going to be fishing tips and tricks. I can't wait to get out there. We're going to start off on walleye. We're going to have some tournaments in June. Then July, August will be a lot of lake trout time. So I'm going to do some guiding this summer as well. So if you want to hit the lake for either walleye or lake trout, hit me up on the channel here, or send me a private message, email, whatever you got to do. So I hope you enjoyed this, and have a good one.